Hello, this is Jonathan, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how to sell high-ticket products to strangers in less than 2 hours. Why do I promise this? Because I was able to do this. Let me show you what I did selling timeshares. I used to talk to people for around 2 hours and had to sell them after that. Actually, it's supposed to be 90 minutes, but right now, let's just say it's 2 hours, the amount that you can do as well. Also, from analyzing more than 20 millionaires and finding what they have in common about sales and persuasion, uh, you're going to learn a lot about that stuff as well. So let's start moving. Did I sell high ticket products to strangers in less than 2 hours? Well, first, I want to explain to you how the timeshare industry works. We need to sell the product to the person that comes to the presentation no matter what, uh, and have a lot of urgency. But that's for later, the urgency part, and I want to explain to you how to create that urgency. But in that timeshares, we only had 2 hours, and then after that, we couldn't sell that person anymore anything. So either you sold or you didn't. And obviously, if you didn't sell for a long time, for more than a week or 2 weeks, you got fired. And I was able to be there like multiple months. Now, what is the first step that I needed to get a total stranger to say yes to me? First of all, they don't trust me. I'm a total stranger. If I try to sell them something, do you think they're going to say yes? Of course not. So think about it. What would be the first step to make a stranger say yes? Build rapport. 100%. But how can I build so much rapport so quickly? And that's what I want to talk to you about right now. Because this is what I learned from a guy called Big G. We called him that in the timeshare industry. He used to sell, he was the best in the industry. He was making hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s. And for the company, he was making millions. And he explained to me that in order to sell somebody, imagine he had two people. One person he didn't sell, and the other person he always sold. So he always sold every other person, no matter what. So it was about skill. It's probably not, if you think that it's the leads, is this or that. Well, this guy proved me wrong. And the thing that he taught me how to build rapport was to become their best friend. How can I become their best friend so quickly? Because, and I use this a lot. First of all, if you want to be liked, be like them. That's one of the phrases. If you're writing things down, I would suggest writing that down. If you want to be liked, be like the other person. So we all know how to make friends, right? Or the majority of people watching this video. But there's a difference between making friends because you have a connection with them, or making a friend with somebody that you don't even see a connection with them. And that's the difficult part. Most of us it's easy to make friends if you have everything in common, right? But what if you don't? And the majority of the leads, I didn't have anything in common. They were at different ages. There were people that were almost broke, and I had to sell them the timeshares, and I sold to people that were broke. That's why I stopped selling timeshares, because I had a lot of power. But if you utilize this power in your advantage, you're going to really be amazing at sales. So first of all, I need to find something that this friend that my new friend, that was my mentality. So my mind was always thinking, this guy is my new friend, and I need to find something that I respect about them. That was the first thing that was in my mind. Instead of looking at, hey, what do I need to say? What do I need to do? The first thing that I used to do and my mentor used to do is what is in my mind, right? Why am I selling to them? How can I respect them? How can I make them believe that I'm their friend or their best friend if I don't believe that myself? The best salespeople, I'm gonna write this down. The best salespeople have the most conviction. They have the most conviction. And in order for me to create an amazing sale about us being friends and us trusting each other, because I cannot be their friend and they're not my friend as well. So I need to find something that I respect about them. Now that I found something that I respect about them, I started asking, obviously, questions. Start asking questions about where they come from, what are they doing here in Las Vegas. I used to sell timeshares in Las Vegas. And why do they like to go on vacation? The next thing that I used to do, now that we build a little bit of trust, I used to ask them questions that relate to obviously the timeshare industry and the vacation industry. So I'm just going to write relate. You have to start asking also questions that you can relate to your product, right? You can't just ask multiple questions that are outside the frame that you want them to keep them on. In these 2 hours, they also need to think about what can we talk about that is also my product, that also relates to my product, but also build trust between each other, right? And one of the best ways, I didn't tell you here, to build a rapport was to start first. What do I mean by starting first? I mean that in order for them to open up to you, you have to open up yourself. They're not gonna tell you all their life story, or the majority of people. There's some people that I used to ask them stuff, and they're like, "Let me tell you all my story. Right now, I'm fighting with my girlfriend, etc." And the majority of people did not. So I had to open up myself and tell them all about my life. You're not gonna talk because you know that I'm about to try to sell you a timeshare that is more than $10,000. They expect it to be like 60,000 or more. There's different types of timeshares. So they already come with the mentality of, this guy is gonna try to pitch me. So that's what I needed to do. Open up myself. And I used to tell a story about me just living in Las Vegas, coming from Mexico City, and how everything is new, how I a little bit vulnerable. I was showing my vulnerability. When you show your vulnerability, it's not that you're lowering yourself for lower status. It's just that you're showing yourself. You're showing that that you trust them, so that they can trust you back. That's how I started first, with all of these questions. Okay? I ask questions to get to know them. If they don't respond, or respond very cold and not friendly, I also started with the story about myself. I have 2 hours with them. I want to tell them about me and be involved and open myself up. Hey, this is fine if you don't buy. At least let's have fun in these 2 hours and get to know each other. And obviously, talk about things that relate to the product. You cannot be talking about other things that don't relate. Because if you may go sometimes off topic, but then come back, right? Then relate again to that's why I go on vacations. I used to be so stressed. And my girlfriend, yeah, and your girlfriend is also fighting with you. That's horrible. That's why it's amazing to go on vacations, right? So this is the beginning of the conversation. Now, what do you do when you already are asking questions? You build rapport. They're having fun with you. They're already open up. When people are already opening up, that's the key. The second step, let's just put second step. Whoop, would be to show them stuff. Talk about a little bit of the logic. So I'm gonna write this down. Logic. Logic. Because you're not gonna talk about all sunshines and rainbows in the conversations. You also need to talk about logical stuff. You show them that they're people that they want to go on vacations, right? You ask them those type of questions. Maybe already, or you have to start over to ask them stuff like that. Hey, logical stuff. How much do you actually go on vacation? How let's forget about the timeshare industry. Let's talk about another subject. Selling shoes, like super expensive shoes. How long have you been looking for shoes like this? What type of shoes do you like? What am I doing right now? I'm going for the logical stuff, the stuff that is gonna make them tell me, you know what, this is something that I've been searching for. How long? How long have you been on vacations? Well, I've been going on vacations for like 10 years. Whoa. How much do you spend on your vacations? How much do you normally spend on your shoes? Well, normally I spend this or that, the other. That's interesting, right? Now you find the logic. What I do next, I do compare the logic, and I try to show them that maybe there's a better way. And by now, most of the times, if people are very skeptical of what you're saying, they're gonna tell you, you know what, I know what you're doing right now. Or some people, because they always knew what you were doing. They know that you're trying to sell to them. But the best thing that you could do right now when they ask you something like that, you could say, maybe this is not for you. What do you think this creates in people? Maybe it's not for you. Huh. So it's interesting that we're talking about me trying to sell you this. We're already talking about the logical stuff that you go on vacation a lot and you buy shoes and it's expensive and maybe there's better ways or there's better shoes. And then all of a sudden this guy tells me, but whatever, this is not for you. This may not be for you. What do you think this happens in the mind of the other person? The other person is going to be like, oh, is this guy actually trying to sell to me? Because he's just talking about his life. He's asking me questions about my life. Yeah, he's supposed to be talking about, obviously, timeshares because he's giving me a presentation. It shows that he likes the industry, right? He likes going on vacations. He likes the shoes. It's not that he's trying to sell to me. Huh. Maybe he's not trying to sell to me. Maybe he's actually just showing what he's interested in. Huh. So might as well be open. Might as well be open to what he has. Maybe this is not for you. And I used to have some clients. I used to have these people that didn't have any money, barely anything. And they used to tell me almost more than 10 times during the presentation that they're not going to buy the product. And do you know what I used to tell them? It's okay. I'm here to show you and talk about something amazing, but we do have an opportunity right now that is going to go away very, very soon. And mostly in the timeshare industry, it's today. We only have a one opportunity today that for the people that are interested, you may not be interested. It's a huge deal. And I'm super excited, but right now I'm not going to talk to you about that. So that's what I want to tell you right now. By then, when they're opening up and stuff like this, you also want to tell them that start to build a little bit of urgency. And the best way you can build urgency, and please always do this, using logic. You have to use urgency with logic. Because people will smell that you're scamming, that you're lying. Oh, obviously, how come it's only today, the offer? And in the timeshare industry, it was always today. And the way that we had to tell them, hey, it's actually logical, the thing, is because it was our 40-year anniversary. There was always something going on, especially in the moments where things are going on. It's like, now that the things are going on and you see those balloons over here, you see those balloons over there, we're just having a huge deal, and we're about to buy another property, and here's the other property, here are the pictures of what's it's gonna look like, etc., etc., etc. And we build logic under the urgency. They're opening up to you. You ask them questions first, and you start to build a little bit of urgency. You start to tell them, hey, this may not be for you, but if it is, we do have an amazing offer that it's for this month. Awesome. Or for this conversation. I reward people that are fast action takers. So here you go. And let me just tell you, back up a second. All of this that I'm telling you is just with practice. It becomes way easier to do all this. Just need some practice. Just a few points that I used to go with. At the beginning, it was difficult to even have conversations with people. Like I said in the beginning, many people think that they know how to make friends until they have to make a friend that they're not alike. Like me with the timeshare industry. We're going to have 2 hours, you and me alone, talking about timeshares. So might as well have a good time and become amazing friends. And people used to call me, one guy called me like son and stuff like that. I was 21 years old, around there. And if I'm like his son, whoa, that's amazing. Let's come back a second, right? I talk about their stuff. I relate it to my stuff. I talk about the logical stuff, about the prices, about maybe the pain, right, that they're going through, that they're spending so much money, or they're looking for amazing shoes, but they never found the right shoes. Then I tell them this may not be for you, right? But at the same time, I'm having a normal conversation with those people, and then I tell them, hey, this is not me. It may not be for you, but just to tell you something, over here, it's just our new property. We're about to go to the other property, so that's why today, in our anniversary, in Halloween, we're gonna have a huge, amazing opportunity for everybody that's interested. This may not be for you. Let's move on. Let me show you something here, and then we talk about the good stuff. By here, I'm already telling them how it's so logical to buy the stuff. Why it makes sense. It makes sense to buy the timeshare. Because think about it. You're spending $10,000 in this amount of years, or $100,000. And what if you could spend only $269 to go on a suite? Oh my God. So let me tell you something about sales that you're gonna love. This is called anchoring. And anchoring. When you anchor somebody to a price specifically, you tell them, imagine going to this place, is you're spending hundreds of thousands, you're spending $10,000, and normally they start thinking in their mind, maybe this is going to be super expensive. I cannot believe it. We'll show them the price. It's $60,000. It's only 60K, man. But let me show you our offer. This is anchoring. Okay, this is actually the price. This is the value. Makes sense. And the best way to ask if it makes sense to them is just telling them, would it be worth it to have this $60,000 timeshare? Yeah, it may be worth it. And then I tell them, hey, only for today, it's going to be $10,000. 10K? Oh my freaking, what am I supposed to do now? 10K? I used to have people that got very nervous when I showed them the offer. Oh my God, because I built so much value. If you can leave you with something, it's two things. First, know how to make friends, even though you can't connect with them in the first impressions. And number two is build value. Know how to build perceived value. Some people value other different things, so talk about what they like. And the best way to do this is by first asking questions. Asking questions about them, asking questions about what they like, that relate. And little by little, you're already building this anchor in their mind. This is so valuable. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I came here to not buy it. Oh my God. 60,000. Today's $10,000. Shupa. That's how we do it. Obviously, you don't have to build so much urgency that it's only today. But I hope you're understanding what is going on. Obviously, there's objections. People already in their mind, they're like, I came here to not buy the stuff, etc., etc. Or every time they're having a sales conversation, it's more or less like that. But that's how it is. You build a lot of value, you give so much. And in reality, if the product is so good, and if you believe it's going to be so good for them, then why not? Give them the best that you can. Make it relatable. Like put yourself in the other person's shoes. Let me tell you one last thing before we finish. The meaning of sales. The meaning of sales is celan in Latin, which means to give. To give. We're the people that are giving them the timeshares. They're just giving me the money. At the end of the day, when you were about to die, what do you think it was more worth it? To go on that vacation that it cost money and pay those hotels? Or do you think it was just to earn a couple of dollars that you're going to spend them anyways on other things? Right? Where are the people that are giving the stuff? The people that are giving me the money is just an exchange. Right? It's a excuse. Hey, I have these dollars. I really want your stuff. But normally, right now, we expect everybody to sell to me. There's a lot of marketing, etc. But I want you to always remember this. We're the one that is giving stuff. The people are selling. And if you're not selling, you're buying. And when you buy, it's good. It's good. Sometimes I like buying stuff. I'm sure you do too. Maybe some purchases are amazing that could change your life. And maybe you're the one that is selling that thing that will change their life. You sold a timeshare to some people, and they don't go on vacation. It was very difficult sale because I really believe they were not going to buy, but I still followed all this process. They became my friends, like family almost. I really saw so many things that I could relate with them, but they didn't see it the other way. So it was difficult to build rapport. It happens. But at the end of the day, they bought it. They bought the timeshare. I was surprised. And I think that I changed their life. They're going to go on vacations. They're going to appreciate life. They had money. That's how it is. So just remember, be willing to give the perceived value, because it all depends on what the other person perceived it to be. That's the actual value of reality. Reality is only real on the perspective side. I'll see you in another video.